Dear Long Beach City Council, I'm here today because I want to know what the city and Long Beach PD is doing to support the immigrant communities across Long Beach that are suffering from these ICE raids. I live in a beautiful neighborhood here in Long Beach, and ICE was next door to my home. I also have had a missing persons poster hanging on a tree at the end of my driveway. Hispanic and Latino people do not just go missing. Yesterday, I was in my garage and I heard the sound of distant whistles, and I thought to myself, oh my God, ICE is in the neighborhood. This is not normal. On Thursday, November 20th, there were immigration raids all across Long Beach, and people that look like me had no idea it was happening. Is Long Beach PD verifying these agents? Are they federal agents? Are they private contractors? Is Long Beach PD assisting in these ICE raids? And if they're not, is the police department being notified? We saw at the Polly's Pie incident that Long Beach PD just stood by and monitored the situation. But shouldn't Long Beach PD actually verify who these agents are during these enforcement actions and confirm valid judicial warrants? Why are we so behind in action in our community? After all, Los Angeles was the first example of what would become our daily normal life. We're at 180 days and counting of this terrible ICE behavior. We are told that masks are for the safety of the agents. They don't want to be doxxed and they don't want to be harassed. But couldn't we make the same argument for every prosecutor, every judge, every enforcement officer who makes difficult decisions? Public authority requires public accountability. Why isn't the city of Long Beach communicating with its residents? Why are private citizens risking their own safety to verify what's going on? Why aren't we seeing weekly factual updates in city newsletters and citywide text messaging? Why isn't every council member acknowledging that these raids are happening and report on them? The residents of Long Beach need weekly reporting in our newspapers and on our city website. I realize that the federal government rolled out the immigration dashboard, but the hard part is that you have to have a web link or a news story to verify that your incident actually happened. And we all know that if you are only watching legacy media, you have no idea what's really happening out on the streets. Residents of Long Beach need weekly community impact notes in every single council member newsletter, acknowledging enforcement activity when it affects its residents. We also need a citywide community safety alert system, just like we have for emergencies, so residents can get simple, factual updates whenever law enforcement raids are happening. Why isn't the city of Long Beach giving out free whistles? If you look like me, you might not know that the whistle is actually a tool that people are using to alert their community members that ICE is in the area. We also need clear Know Your Rights prominently displayed on the city website with a rapid response section listing what is confirmed, what is not confirmed, and where residents can go for help. ICE actions affect every part of our city. Students from Wilson and Milliken and Jordan and Poly and Cabrillo are traveling across the city for sports and school activities and going through zones where ICE raids are happening. Even the ICE raids that are happening in locations just outside the city limits of Long Beach, like the Home Depots in Signal Hill, are directly affecting the citizens of Long Beach. We all know that immigrants hold many different high-level positions, but we also know that these ICE raids are not happening in affluent communities. When your nanny, your caregiver, your gardener, or your housekeeper is suddenly missing, this will become your issue. This is not a Brown issue. This is a everyone issue, and we need to stop ignoring that this is happening. People need to know what is happening in our city and that the city is doing a terrible job at communicating this. Many people that look like me have no idea of the violent situations that are happening out on the streets because they choose to ignore it. And to be honest, if you're not on social media, then you really have no idea what's really going on across the nation out in the streets. Thank you for your time.